Hello and welcome to Retro Cars Reborn. I'm Lee, and on this week's episode we are going to be sorting that ginormous hole out that we looked at in the last one. So, subscribe, comment, stick around. So here's a rare thing to see. So this is the capri completely upside down, and you've got what effectively can't even see. I can't even determine which side this is from upside down, even though I know it's the passenger side. So this is the passenger side sill. This is the sill end plate, and that's where it originally is welded on, look, over the top of what would have been the inner one. And this is the reason they rot. So that's where the drain hole is. So this is the plate that you buy to replace it. Now literally, you stick it on, look, and they've made it so it's part of the bottom of the A post around, almost lines up with the floor, but there is this extra lip you've got to consider, which will flow up to about here once it's been replaced. And they also have it so it tacks onto the sill, the join here. So yeah, something you don't get to see. Well, they've got it all the way up to there when originally it only really covered that piece. So even the new one I put on the driver's side is wrong, but I would have never got it right because originally on the driver's side this was completely gone. But let's do some more cutting of this bad boy, and we're getting even further into it now. The hole is getting bigger. See that a lot of that isn't dead yet, so that's why I thought I would give it a quick clean up before I just cut it straight across there and did away with all of that. I think that's still going to be the plan. I cut straight across there, but I want to try and have a look at the metal underneath. Got 2 layers in there, so I've got to try and rebuild them. So I'd like to see where they actually originally start before taking this off. It does seem fully intact in there as well. Might have to drill the spot welds out, I think. So I drilled the spot welds out. Had a bit of trouble with this top one. There's a right biatch cut along all the way, and there you go. So it literally would have been originally across there. So we've literally just got to replace those bits and then that piece that goes on the outside can become this. I'll put it there for safekeepings. But yes, it's pretty good for it to rot through 2 pieces. So now I've just got to cut this out and remake it, as well as all these other little pieces. These are the fun bits. So our giant hole. I've already welded in this nice shiny piece from underneath. As you can see, it's definitely not finished, but that'll be done from the inside once the car's got a floor again. So it's had a panel already welded from the inside. As you can see, look, there's the weld line, a big square from the inside. It's also had another one a bit further down, a bit further in, look. So it was along the chassis rail that they welded it to, and they attempted to replicate some spot welds there, and right where the G clamp is, and in doing so actually raised the metal up, look, so it didn't get put in flush, so it raised. So I've now got to try and dig all that rust out of there, get it as flat as possible, then cut this little piece out here. Because they welded it from the inside, this piece here, they actually melted it and it never recovered. It just let rust in, which is why it's re-rusted again. Re-rusted, I don't think that's a thing, but I'm gonna go with it, re-rusted. So I'm just in the process of knocking that rust out of there now and trying to get this piece as flat as possible. And I will probably drill those replicated spot welds out and just put some more back in. That's that small bit of chassis filled back in. So now we can get on to the never-ending hole. So the next small repair panel's got to go in here, so we get a nice, we're lined up with this cut here. So we'll just get that welded in there. Got that bit welded in there. Problem is I don't want it to become a big patchwork quilt of randomness. So I've got to start reconstructing this from the outside now. And start by cutting as much of this rot out as feasibly possible here, all the way up to this triple layered piece here. And I'm going to start thinking about putting some back in for definite. So I've reconstructed this inner piece and this little piece here. Just working my way down to this piece now, so that I can line that up with that. It's yeah, a bit like a patchwork quilt, but with the, you know, I haven't got the means to create all these, you know, panels into these bits here, and I don't think they even do a repair panel for this inner piece here. So it's all just make the little bits and slot them in. Obviously it doesn't matter, you're never going to see any of it because that's the panel that they create to go over the top of it. So it doesn't really matter, as long as it's all put back. It's just building this inner layer up And there's this other layer here. It's just there. And runs about there, so that's then going to come out here again. And go across there. And then that bit gets slapped over the top. So I think I'm going to call it part 1 on that, because there's plenty more to do that I definitely can't get completed in just 1 week. Don't worry, this piece here will be shaped up and then fitted into there, but I'll have to do that from the inside. And looking at the other side, it turns out that this piece here actually folds out and down on the inside on the other side, but again, once all the carpet's in and everything, you're never going to see any of it, so it doesn't really have to look spot on from the inside. So with that, I will see you in the next video. It'll be part 2 of doing the floor. Please leave a comment, subscribe, and give us a like. Anything you want to know, just leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. See you in the next one.